frustration mounts for sure.
Shoot, it's embarrassing, honestly. We are a way better team than what we putting on tape nowadays.
Mad, frustrated, and flat out off the mark. That just about sums up the Commanders' 44-22 blowout loss to the Dallas Cowboys. And it's leaving a bad taste all the way around. Coach Quinn didn't offer any excuses, not even the mounting list of injuries.
Going in, like I said, a specific way that we wanted to go play, to go win it, and when you don't do that.
This game has everyone scratching their head.
I mean, it's frustrating, you know what I mean? We don't tend to go out there and, like, the mindset of, like, losing. You know, we're going out there to win, and obviously, you know, we didn't make that happen.
The pieces just aren't fitting, and the longer this drags on, the more obvious it's becoming something that has to change fast.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel, even in chaos, so there's always a glimmer of hope.
Back-to-back losses now, and the trip to Dallas raised more questions than answers. And next up, oh boy, the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a lot to unpack this week on Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus.
The man is back, y'all. We're back. Call your mama, call your daddy. We're back and we're back. We're back. Tony McGee, y'all. We're back. Tony McGee. Come on. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee, Pro Football Plus. Tony McGee.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50-some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Crystal City Sports Pub, located in the heart of National Landing, is ranked one of the top 20 sports bars in the country. We are open 365 days a year. Crystal City Sports Pub, with its laid-back atmosphere, is the place to be. We offer 3 levels, over 100 TVs, an 18-foot video wall, pool tables, 3 full bars featuring 11 beers on tap, an extensive menu, and super friendly staff. We offer on- and off-site catering and ample space to host private parties and gatherings. Come experience Crystal City Sports Pub. It is the place to be.
Welcome to Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus. You know, for 41 years, we've been around here talking about our Washington teams, what they can do, what they can't do. But one thing I think our Washington teams need to realize, you're 3-3 for a reason. That means you're average. And people are getting tired of average. You know what? It's just like they say in the song. If it ain't love at the table, you need to know when to leave. And that's what people are going to start doing with them. And I tell you what, I'm up for them. But you can't have games. And I guess I'm more angry because the Dallas Cowboys. So what I do is go bring in a crew that's going to tell the truth. I start with Donna Hockman. She's up there in the booth with him. I got the big fella in here talking about my big fella, Solomon McGee. And then I got the big fella. Well, now I got to go with Michael Baker. He's been out winning Emmys somewhere. So welcome back, Michael. And then I come in with the guy. Now, I tell y'all this every time. How can I be so I like this guy. He took my job. And then when he came in, I remember Torky said, "Oh, he's just tall with long arms. He's not shoot." The next thing I know, I was bringing water to him on the bench. Like Manzioli, child, man.
That is not true.
What's happening, guys? I'm going to tell you what, we need something to laugh about because that was just ridiculous what we saw last week, and there's no excuse for it. And you can say it is, but you take each position and look at how they just breaking down. No deep. Charles, man, you could have played defensive backfield there the way they would play. But let's go to the offense first. Man, we got a guy hurt again. I want you to start with it down and you talk with them. Isn't somebody telling him, you don't have to prove to us you can run. Just get the job done. Don't and he can't, and he's not going to be able to take that long.
Tony, I'm not going to totally agree with you because with the way this offense is sputtering and they don't have receivers right now, you got to have everybody doing a lot of other things. Now, Jaden, the hamstring, the good news today was that is not bad. He may not play in Kansas City still, but it's a hamstring, but it's not as bad as they thought it was. But the other bad news on the defensive side, they lose another defensive lineman in Dorrance Armstrong, who had started playing really good ball, probably the best of anybody on the defensive line. He's gone for the season, Tony. So now they've got to figure out that. But I think it was some things that Coach Quinn said in his presser today is that they need to refocus this group. Inconsistency is what he said. And this group is off course. We saw that in that Dallas game, and they're in a hardship right now, Tony. This team is in bad shape right now, but I'm going to send it to Solomon to see what he has to say about what he sees in this team right now.
Well, hold on real quick. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Breaking news. They said that Jerry Jones' family was so impressed with the way Lattimore was able to play on both sides of the field. He played for our defense and their offense. They said they're going to sign him to the rest of the year, and he has a locker next to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. That should let y'all know. Yeah, come on. I mean, yeah, come on, Pops. It's like, I know you can't only have 11 men on the field, but let's go on and give this out the way. Bama of the game, Lattimore. You was like their 12th man. Come on. Now, just all along, also, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to throw too much shade. Big up to Deron Payne. I'm not going to let, I'm going to be honest, had a fantastic game. But that's why it hurt him so much, because he was the only one playing hard, Pop. But far as overall, come on, man. Come on, man. That's all I'm going to say is come on, man.
What do you think with that? You know, we've had some times like that, and you've been on the field with that. I've been on the field with it. What do you think is wrong? And now I hate to see this defensive lineman, because he had 6.5 sacks. He had good pressure. He was really the only one bringing it, and now he's out. Donna, tell me again, what did he hurt that he's out for the year?
Yeah, Tony, he came into the game nursing a hamstring injury, and then he ended up hurting the knee in that game against Dallas. So it was the knee injury that took him out for the rest of the year. That's not good, Tony, because they had already lost Wise, and they had lost another lineman. That's 3 defensive linemen for a defense that's already struggling. So to lose him, Tony, like you said, he was leading in sacks, and him gone now, and now they got to figure out how to work on this broken defense that seemed to be making the same mistakes over and over again. And then they got Kansas City coming up, then they got Seattle, then they got Detroit. So it doesn't get easy, Tony.
Now, why are you saying, Tony, you should be saying, and they got 3 diamond hurt, Charles, and those 3 probably weren't good as you right now. And you should be thinking about working out, going back out and helping your team.
Yeah, right. I was a little discouraged, like everybody else. I mean, it's Dallas. If there's one game every year or 2 games every year that you get up for playing with the Washington Commanders, it's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. And I was a little disappointed how slow they started, but they started slow in every single game. I don't know what they need to do to get a faster start, offensively. I'm talking, and then Jaden, just a little bit off because he's not throwing to his regular receivers. You know, there was a guy off of the practice squad, and so I want to give them a little bit of a pause because, you know, they had a fantastic season last year, unexplained, not expected. You got a rookie quarterback. So, you know, I get that part. Now you have to play. Now we're expecting it. And that's when it's hard to perform at this level, especially in this day and age. The season is up for grabs. At 3-3, I still think they have a good chance of getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs.
Well, you know, that's going to be a big one right there. Mike, I know we're jumping around, but tell me what you saw in the offensive line. That was very important because it's understanding that Dallas has a pretty good offense, but their defense has been the last rated one during the course of the year. Then they come out on us and look like they got superstars out there.
You know, I was really encouraged by Cosme, and I know Donna saw it close up, but they said that he did particularly well having come back with pass protection. And that's really, of course, they lined him over on the right side instead of the left side because Paul is playing so well over on the left side. Mm-hmm. But there's just one thing that I noticed, and that is on both sides of the ball, Tony, the give and the take. Washington's at the bottom. Only the Jets are worse. There's just not a lot of give and take that's going on. And in addition to that, the tackling is just so circumspect, regardless of whether or not you're a defensive player or an offensive player having to make a tackle when you've thrown in an interception, whatever. The tackling is just god-awful. And penalties, both sides of the ball, almost 200 yards in the last 2 games in penalties. And now, at first, they were in the mid-range when it came to penalties. They're now pushing the bottom. They're around 22nd, 23rd in penalties. So you combine all those factors, you got problems, Tony.
And that's not the only factor. They gave up 440 yards in offense. I mean, that tells me right there, we got a problem on both sides of the ball. Yeah. Now, I know the receivers were gone. I know everyone's going to say that. But it wasn't nobody out there on Sunday that didn't go in today but a Jet. I get choked up when I talk about my team and Charles Mann is here. So, Donna, you go into the locker room and tell me what you heard there.
Yeah, Tony, you're exactly right. Before I go to the locker room, let me just say this. The Commanders in the first half, before the second quarter ended, they were almost 5 points behind. They scored, but they let Dallas with 35 seconds. That, to me, is the whole breakdown of where this game really turned around because you're going to give them 35 seconds to go 70-some yards for a touchdown that puts you behind the 8 ball, and you were never able to recover. But one thing about it is this locker room was upset. So let's go in here to hear from the defense and the offense. And Tony and Charles, I want you to know, I stayed on the defense in this game. Hey, Johnny, how frustrating is this to come out here and the results be what they are?
That's hell. That's how frustrating it is. That's hell. It's very frustrating. We know we got the players on this team to put on and put out, but we're just not getting the results we want.
We all have things individually that we can work on to make the collective better. And that's each man watching the tape, learning from the experience, right? It's frustrating because these matter, right? Like these games matter. And so we can't bullshit this. Like you gotta analyze the tape with like an open eye and an open heart, understanding that like we have to be better. I don't care, no excuses. We have to be better. The guys on the field got to be better. We can talk about it and all that as much as we want to, but we got to go do it. And that's on us. That's on each player. That's on all of us taking accountability to what we get asked to do and doing it at a high level. I don't care the circumstances. I don't give a damn about any of that stuff, right? At the end of the day, we asked to do the job, and we got to go do it. No matter how hard or uncomfortable it is, like, we all getting paid to do this, right? So just understanding that, like, that's our job.
Hey, Trey, this is a tough one. What do you say about a game like this?
I feel like it's just a learning curve. Just got to execute better. Just, lean on one another. Just keep on being positive and towards next week.
How frustrating it is, though?
I mean, it's frustrating, losing, but we got to see the bigger picture. no matter what that is, we just got to get better.
We got to find a way to go out there, make plays, and execute the scheme. Coming in every day with the mindset of not, I did good, but just looking for ways to improve, looking for things to improve on, like just little things, and just as a defense, just gelling better.
Hey, Trent, this has got to be frustrating. Just talk about this game.
Yeah, we just didn't execute on any level. It doesn't seem like, we, like I said, we got a process, and, we worked hard all week, and we just came out and, we didn't take care of the ball. We didn't operate well on offense, and, give credit to them. They just played better than us today.
Can you put your finger on what's going on right now, and as far as just execution and those probably little things that have to get better?
Yeah, it's just, everybody has a job, and we're all, we don't make excuses. Everybody here puts in the work at all of their positions. So it's just, especially speaking on offense, it takes all guys to be on the same page for it to work. So it's just a thing of guys being on the details and finding ways that we can all click and, get in a rhythm so we can help the defense out, help special teams out, and just play complementary football.
We got 8 days to just focus on getting our game right and just getting out there and compete.
Hey, Tony, I like Jeremy Reeves. Now, he told the truth. Look, to get paid. You could see the frustration. He came in because Quan Martin was taken out of the game. Jeremy Reeves was put in late. But Jeremy Reeves, to me, said everything that needed to be said by a player. No excuses. Coach Quinn said no excuses. Injuries, they happen for everybody. But to me, this team and coaches were asked about, hey, who needs to be brought up? Who needs to be set down? Hey, what about the defensive coordinator? Does some changes need to happen there? Coach Quinn said that he's on the headset. But, Tony, something has to change. They got to dig deep right now because whatever is happening week after week after week.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break right now. And one thing you did say, everybody got paid, and everybody is part of this. So it's time for everybody to take a look in the mirror. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi, welcome home. It's Michelle Van Allen from Van Allen Real Estate. I am over 20 years experienced in this real estate game. We all know that right now this market takes an experienced agent to get you what you need. All of you sellers, if you're considering putting your house on the market, please give me a call. I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to you to find out where you place in this market. Hey, you first-time home buyers, remember, right now is the perfect time. It's a buyer's market to get you into your first dream home. Hey, you investors, this is an amazing time to invest. If you ever thought about it, give me a call. We can talk about it. We can talk about specific properties that are on your radar and mine. Give me a call. I'd be more than happy to welcome you into the Van Allen Real Estate team. I look forward to talking to you soon.
No, we're not through. If we're going to talk about the defense, we're going to talk about the offense, we're going to talk about the special teams too, because then none of them do nothing they're supposed to. Everybody talking about they're a contender. Well, you know what happened? When the monkey's tail got caught in the fan, it wasn't long anymore. And they ain't going to be long no more either. They got to get out there. It's time to quit talking about this is a good team. We're going to do it. You're 3-3. That means you're average. And I'm gonna tell you what,
3-4, Pop. They 3-4.
3-4.
Oh,
let's
that's right.
not even give them that. Yeah, let's not even give them that, Pop.
Well, man.
I know. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
A few weeks ago, we were getting people stuff together. Now we're looking for jobs. But I tell you what, special teams didn't do a lot there, but it didn't have to do a lot. That was a team effort, Charles, and you saw that. We always look at defense, if you're holding 17 points and the offense scored more than 23, you can win. That just wasn't the case. It just didn't have a feeling the whole day that they were really in it. Did you not, Charles?
Well, I'm glad you stumbled onto something. I don't know if you stumbled onto it or we were trained very well. You said the defense, you already were talking about the defensive goals. Solomon, Donna, Michael, can you believe that Joe Gibbs and the defensive coaches, Richie Pettibone, we all had goals. And to this day, and we haven't played football in over 50 years almost, some of us, and Tony still remembers those goals. And the goal on the defense was to hold the opponent under 17 points or less. On offense, it was to score 21 points. On offense, it was also to rush the ball for 100 yards. On defense, it was supposed to hold the opponent under 100 yards rushing. I can name off all those goals because they mattered, because it was important for us. Because when they would check the box and say we hit those goals, we won football games. So we didn't have to be smart. We didn't have to be anything but know if we do these things, it's going to produce wins. And when your whole team knows that, then when you get in the locker room, ain't nobody sitting in there saying, oh, we just need to play better. No, we know why we lost. We lost because of this. We lost because of that. They haven't gotten any turnovers. You win by making the opposing team turn the football over. And then how do you get them to turn it over? Hit them real hard.
There you go.
Yeah.
But somebody's mic was making sure. And Charles said,
"That's not me."
Charles said some great things, and I think as he was saying that, I sit here and realize I don't hear that around this locker room. I don't hear that around the interviews. I don't hear a lot of things that they used to tell us. We had to do these things. It wasn't like you just go out there and hold them. You got a goal to hold them. It wasn't like the offense just going out there to say that, okay, we held it a lot of times. They got yards they want to get. And that's what we don't have right now. And I'm saying but it's the same thing around the league, Donna. You look around, the football is not as good. People, if somebody get Charles, you average 10 or 12 sacks in 3 or 4 or 5 years in a row. Now if somebody get 5 or 6 sacks, they act like they're all Americans. I just can't understand this. But one thing and Mike, you can jump on this, or Big Zoe, if they don't get it together right now, you look at that, and I'll let you, Simon, because you were talking about it. The people they got coming up, the Kansas Cities and this different one, if this team doesn't play well in the next 3 weeks, it could be over.
Donna,
Mike said it last week, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to quote him. It was like, with the games we have coming up, we can easily lose every one of them. Like literally, we have Kansas City next. We got the Lions. I think we got Seattle. So basically, positive. We don't get it together, we will end up on the other end of the losing stick. But one thing we got to start doing also, and this is one thing I heard Charles say, number 71, and I've heard 78. Y'all had goals because the coaches had y'all do goals. Let's start holding these coaches accountable. Other than Larry Izzo, the special teams go, big ups to him because he has jumped into special teams, every week. The rest of them are culling these guys. Whit, you a cuddler. Quinn, you a cuddler. Cliff, you a cuddler. Big ups to the special teams because they play fired up every week because their coach is fired up. We always jump on the players every week. Let's get on these coaches because I thought about what Charles said. They held, you better get some goals. It wasn't, Charles, if you want to get goals or not, it's up to you. No, we want goals. Pettibone in them. We want goals. Where I think these coaches, do you feel like giving us goals this week, guys? If you want, right?
Should we try to make them?
Right.
But I think that they do have goals. They just not producing. Look at these numbers. In 7 games, the Commanders on defense, total defense 29, pass defense 27, rush defense 23rd, total points allowed 23rd, and takeaways second to last, and Kansas City is +5 in takeaways, and the Commanders' defense is -5. You're not going to beat anybody with those numbers, and everybody, like Solomon said, is to blame from this, from the players to the coaches, the whole 9 yards, because you have to put the players in position to be able to play and win. And then the players, as Jeremy said, they got to go out there and play themselves. They can't be making the same mistakes. Solomon, you know, you being on the bench, if you was out there playing basketball and making the same mistakes over and over, they would have brought somebody else up to play if you kept making those mistakes. And this is the point where I'm at with the team. You've got to start making some tough decisions when you're not seeing the results from week to week, because it doesn't get any easier. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes and that group is playing really well. They got Rice back, their wide receiver. They got a lot of other bodies back. They shut out the Raiders 31-0. They're getting ready to make that run against as a quality team again.
Oh, but the Raiders, the Raiders down there. Who cares? The Raiders.
Hey, Tony, 31-0.
Yeah, still 0. If you could make somebody put a 0
that's
on
just like them. They talking loud and ain't saying nothing. I told you.
But right now, I was saying the cuddling going on. It's just Pops. Come on, you don't. That's why I thank you, Dad, for being tough on me. Also, I'm gonna say this part. Can somebody get Jaden's father to come to the game, please? I'm gonna just go on and fight, because when he looks over at his mom and does the whimper, thanks, Dad, for being in the stands while I play. Because even if I try to look over, he's like, get back on that court. Come on, y'all. I'm telling you. Like Donna's saying, the coaches are cuddling them. There's not no accountability. Jalen's looking over the side. Is like, come on, man, we got to get tough. See, that's what we're not talking about. The cuddling that's why I'm giving up to Larry Izzo. Let's give it up. He has a special team acting like they have an attitude every time. Everybody else is just let's just show up a little bit and then take pictures at the end and trade jerseys.
Right. That's the one thing I can't get used to. And going out on this break, I'm going to say, Charles, I ain't never I remember even when I was with New England, and Perry Brooks came running up to me after they had beat us. Man, I was about to go to blows, man. These guys giving jerseys and taking babies and doing all this kind of stuff. I can't understand that. But see, we're going to keep talking about it. Don't think special team. You ain't got to wait. We're going to talk about you too. And your people. So you might as well get mad. We'll be back in a moment.
People don't know the real story of what happened.
It was an unbelievable series of events and an unbelievable time.
Their championship was taken away from them in 1969. We are living in their championship now.
50-some years later, good is coming from it. They are impacting state after state after state after state.
And we're going to show the world how to love.
Looking for top-notch sports officials who know the game inside and out? The Greater Potomac Officials Association, GPOA, proudly serves the military community throughout our region, with nearly 90% of our officials being military retirees, active duty service members, or guardsmen. We bring unmatched discipline, professionalism, and integrity to every contest. From youth leads to adult alumni, our officials cover it all. Want to learn more about GPOA or bring our officials to your program? Contact owner and CEO Earl Teller III at 202-498-2032 or email him at gr8rpotomac@comcast.net.
Week
7 of the NFL season was called Beat Down Sunday. The Jets, Dolphins, Jaguars, Raiders, and Commanders, after their respective drubbings, have little or no odds of making the postseason. The chance of one of these teams making the tournament is just 16%, and the chance of 2 of these franchises making the postseason just 4%. Essentially, postseason is now down to 27 teams with 10 weeks to go. Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel is just waiting to be shown the door. Will it be this week? The Bears have won 4 games in a row for the first time in 7 years. Oh my. The Jets have seen enough of quarterback Justin Fields. He's been benched. 2 quarterback injuries of significance this week. The Panthers' Bryce Young could be lost for a week or 2 with an ankle injury, and the Commanders' Jaden Daniels is undergoing an MRI for a hamstring injury. He's a question mark against Kansas City. If anyone had put a nail in the coffins of Kansas City and Philadelphia this year, it was premature. Both teams took care of business on Sunday. The return of Rashid Rice was a real plus for KC, and Jalen Hurts' connection with wideouts A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith for 100-plus receiving yards each signaled both teams' emergence from the ashes. Odds of a Super Bowl rematch? 27%? The Giants suffered a crushing defeat as Jackson Dart and the Giants lost on the last-second field goal Sunday. The Broncos became the first team in NFL history to score 33 points in the fourth quarter after going scoreless in the first 3. The Commanders' defensive end Dorrance Armstrong suffered a knee injury and could miss several weeks. The Washington Commanders signed veteran receiver Treylon Burks to their practice squad. They're hoping a player talented enough to be picked in the first round 3 years ago can eventually help a banged-up group. He could see some playing time against KC. Cowboys place kicker Brandon Aubrey has been the most consistent field goal kicker in the NFL since Dallas signed him as a member of the Birmingham Stallions in 2023. He's 91 of 100 on field goals and is the 60-plus king this season. The Patriots' Drake May finished 21 of 23 for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns on Sunday versus Tennessee, and he added another 62 yards rushing. He's the first player in the Super Bowl era to complete 90% of his passes, throw for over 200 yards, and rush for over 50 yards in a single game. Is he another Brady? The Jones boys are surprising everyone in the NFL. Mac is getting it done with San Francisco, winning again Sunday. And not to be lost in the shuffle is the historic start of quarterback Daniel Jones. Indianapolis is averaging a league-best 33.1 points per game in 2025 with Jones at the helm. And that's NFL news for this week.
Excuse me if I was a little rough going out there, but get over it. I ain't going back the other way. One thing they got to do, they got to get a little rough too. Some of them should back in there to get the checks on like and don't even be ashamed to do that. I look at that and I take a defensive line that had one good player that really was consistent. I'm not saying the rest weren't. And Darren is having a great year. And then you lose that stacker. I'm looking at the offensive line. You've never shown that you can do something over and over and continue to do it. I'm looking at the running backs. We see people there that show us good things, but not that bell horse that we need up in there. I look at the defensive backs. They've been trying to improve them each year. They want to talk about Wagner's too slow. At least he's getting there. At least he's in the film. So, I'm looking at the linebackers. I didn't know we had linebackers, but I say they do it. And let's jump over here. All these receivers, I wish Jerry could go back out. But one thing you got to realize, and Charles will tell you, when you have a goal, you don't let nothing stop you. Players get hurt around you. Players get hurt on the other team. Even when they get hurt, we don't worry about that because you going out, you got business to take care of. This team has not been taking care of business. And what's really hurting you, they have the potential to do that. Donna, you see that, and I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, Tony, you know what? You are, but I'm going to go over to Mike, and because he had a burning question for Charles Mann, because we got solid people here today who could talk and give us a little insight on what could possibly be happening.
You know, first thing I want to say is Donna actually got the interview in the locker room that revealed what their process is. They use the word process. And Dan Quinn in the post-game press conference used the word process. We had a process this week. And so to explore that farther, the process was to control the ball because Washington knew there was no way they could outshoot Dallas, not with CeeDee Lamb back. So they wanted to control the ball. They wanted to run the ball. And so Kingsbury schemed up all these short passing plays because they didn't have a deep threat. All this stuff he schemed up, and it didn't work because Dallas stacked the box. The whole game they stacked the box, and they went man on the few receivers that Washington put out there. So if that's the process, that's your rules. But I want to ask Charles one thing. There's only two guys left, Charles. There's Jacob Martin, who's played in the league for 8 years at one defensive end, and there's Preston Smith at the other end. Those are your only two bona fide defensive ends this week to play against Kansas City. You watched them in the game. Martin showed some promise. Do you have any comments about either of those guys? You've seen them play before.
Oh, well, Preston Smith was supposed to be the next Charles Mann when he came out.
Right. Yep. That's what they was.
So I do have an affinity for Preston. But he's long, he's rangy. Defensive ends are just built a different way. And my whole thing, my whole take on this, Mike, is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. There's a lot of season left. Tony, you may be down on the team right now, but it ain't over yet. They got a lot of games to play, and they have a lot of improvement to make. There's a lot of areas of improvement, and I think they can do it. And I think they want to do it. And I think we got enough players healthy and were on the team last year when they made their run last year. So they've seen it. They understand what it took. Maybe they just backed into it last year, but now they have their eyes wide open. And I just believe that one game at a time. So Kansas City, I'd be focused all my energy on Kansas City, and that's it. And beating Patrick Mahomes, at least scoring, we're not going to let me shut out, please. Right. But beating them is the number one priority right now. And all this white noise, all the talking heads, forget all that. Get in that locker room, get in the team setting, and do what you have to do and come out here and show that we're all wrong.
Hey, Charles, one thing about Washington last year is after that Cincinnati game, because I think they had lost 3 straight games, they got into a team meeting and so forth, and they ended up winning 7 games after that. Now, the only difference about last year to this year, the amount of injuries to key players that make this team go is not on this sideline right now. Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuels, 2 of your playmakers. Jayden Daniels is nicked up. He wasn't last year. And I mean, you lost Eckler, which we haven't mentioned him. He adds so much to that offense too. So when you're talking about some key core players that was here last year when they made this run, they don't have those people here. I'm not, like you said, I'm not jumping ship because it is a lot of football. But the difference this year is they've got to navigate a little differently than they did last year because a lot of the key core pieces is not there. That means that the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, they have to be savvy as far as their play calling to utilize some of these other players. So I'm a little
Donna, how do you think players like Charles Mann ever had a career? It's the next man up. Yeah. It's the next man up.
Yeah.
So these injuries are giving those scout team players and Preston Smith and other players a chance to play. It's the next man up. You have your opportunity to show out and to show this team that you're valuable and that you're worth fighting for. So I'm not falling for the injuries. It's the next man up. There's a superstar on that practice squad they don't even know about. Number 12 looked pretty good. I can't remember his name. Sorry about that, young man. But he caught a couple of nice catches and is showing that he can play receiver. I mean, I'm saddened by Debo. You know, he was supposed to be the piece that we were missing to go with McLaurin, but now both of them are out. So you know what? Next man up.
But they got to show up, Charles. That next man has to show up because the last 3 games and so forth, some players have to find those diamond in the rough. That's the reason why I said earlier on is that these guys have to be able to, when they get their opportunity, to produce, because you don't have a long window. So that hasn't, to me, happened yet with some of the guys who step forward. But as you say, it's still early.
And you know, that's a good point to make because it is early. The other point that you have made that's good is it's late. It's both of them.
Nice, Pop.
we don't need to keep it. They got to get this done. It's going to be ugly if they don't get it done in the next few weeks. You know, it's time. You don't want somebody coming in the locker room. I remember the first night I was here, I was laughing because Joe Gibbs, I'm telling y'all, he had that real high voice. But
when he got mad at you?
Yeah. And I tell you, what he said brought more to that team than how he said it. So we can look at it right now. And, you know, that is a good way you're looking at it game by game. But the team got to look at it that way as well. Every game is important. You take the one in front of you and win that. And you got opportunity. And I tell you what, it's just one of them. And it's bad because a few weeks ago, as I said, we were talking Super Bowl, and now we're talking about we hope to see you. So it's got to be a thing. But one thing I don't want you fans to think, we're not just going to come down on them. We're going to tell the truth. And I tell you what, during the course of this, I'm going to ask you right now, one of y'all tell me that you feel like they can still win the division. Now, I only got about a minute, so come on. So who's going to tell me that?
I think they can, but the coaches got to turn their situation around, just like I'm going to ask Ms. Hopkins when we get back. How does it with Rodriguez and Nicholson play at the end of the game? If a coach has a grudge on a player that hard where you're not going to play them during the game due to that, I don't know. But if we could turn things around, I think we can get back on track like Charles said, Pop.
All right, we come back. We're looking at that. What was happening? We'll be back in a moment.
Tony McGee's Pro Football Plus Speakers Bureau offers you various opportunities to connect with former and current players along with Tony and the crew. For more information, go to redmagplus.com Speakers Bureau.
The one-of-a-kind joy of Kellogg's cereal and ice-cold milk.
Well, you know what, Solomon? I was thinking, you must have been in my thought pattern because I was thinking the same thing.
Basketball connection. Please explain it, Sharpshooter. What's going on with McNichols and Rodriguez? Why do they get – and like Charles said, McNichols had a great run. We couldn't have got that the whole game.
Yeah, and this is the funny thing about it is Coach Quinn and the Coach Lynn told me last year that McNichols adds a little bit of both running backs when they had Brian Robinson and when they had Eckler. So I'm not understanding why they're not utilizing him a lot more. I know they want to bring Bill. Bill adds a lot of a different spin, but all of them add something. So they were using them at one point, all 3 of them throughout the game. And then they went away from that. That's why I said again, they've got the coordinators and everything have to utilize their weapons. And you can't wait to the end of the game to utilize those weapons. But one good thing about right now is our sports challenge is huge. Look how hot it is, Tony. It's neck and neck. And they took a beating last week, too, because Crystal City Pub is at 5-8. The Glory Days at 6-7. GPOA, our newcomer, is in the lead, but not by far at 8-5. 7-6 for Crystal City Restaurant over there with Billy and Van Allen Real Estate at 5-8. So everybody took a beating. But this week, the 49ers and the Falcons just playing the first game. And only one person took, well, two people took the 49ers. That is Crystal City Pub and Van Allen Real Estate. Tony, I'm coming to you first. The 49ers, with all the injuries that we talk about with other teams, seem to be able to win no matter what. Falcons, I thought that they were coming back, but they took a dive this week. How do you see these two teams? I want to hear from everybody on the 49ers and the Falcons. Tony, I'm starting with you.
It's going to be very quick in what it is. They have gone against each other quite a few times. Both of them have very strong running games, and that's what really hurts their team. Now, the one thing about the 49ers, they are existing now, but if they're number one, if McCauley get hurt, then they're in trouble. He's a very good, probably the best all-around athlete in the league, best running back, but he can't stay well. So when I look at these two teams, and now who's the home person this week?
I think it's the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, if we go with them, I'd have to go with that. The 49ers can win this.
Hey, Charles, I'm coming to you because you know the Bucks, Todd Bowles down there with the Buccaneers. They're playing the Lions, and both teams, and the Bucks to me is one of the better teams in the NFL right now. Todd has just got that team playing, but the Lions seem to be making some noise. Talk to me about these two teams. What do you like about the Lions or the Bucks, or who pulls this one out?
Well, I'm never going to go against a former teammate and Todd Bowles with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, their quarterback is hot. The Buccaneers quarterback, I mean, he's the one making it happen. And so for that, I would go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And Solomon, Seattle is a team that everybody better pay close attention to. They're playing the Texans. And as you can see, only one person, GPOA, went with the Texans. Maybe they know something I don't, but I wouldn't have been going against Seattle. How do you see these two teams? Who do you like?
Well, GPOA knows about D'Amico Ryans, middle linebacker that plays hard defense. Yeah. So I feel like as much as Seattle's been able to pass the ball around and move it around, I want to say I'm going to go with them with the Texans. I feel good about the defense because that's when you have a defensive-minded coach that plays defense, we know what's on his mind first. So I'm actually going to go with GPOA on the Texans.
Hey, Mike, if all these teams, 49ers, Falcons, Lions, and Seattle, who has surprised you the most so far?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, the Bucks. Yeah. And I sort of agree with Charles. You know, years ago, I tried to talk Tony into drafting Baker Mayfield. I said, Tony, this is the guy.
He's
and
awesome.
I remember he said, no, Mike. And Tony ended up being right. But on the retread try, Baker's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a natural-born winner.
I'm thinking the Bucks are a sleeper for the NFC Championship.
I'm so happy for Todd Bowles, but I'm so happy for all of these restaurants and other people, businesses, and everybody can still get in here. It's Crystal City Pub, a family-friendly neighborhood restaurant. It gives you, the sports fans, all that you want. And then the Glory Days, check them out with multiple locations for good food, sports atmosphere. Go check them out each week. And GPOA, me and Solomon know a little bit about this because they're the Greater Potomac Association in the DMV. They deal with the military, intramurals, youth leagues, everybody. And I love what they do with the military intramurals. So they are your association to go to. Crystal City Restaurant over there with Billy. And, you know, this is a restaurant club. It's open since 1963. So they know what they're doing, quality of service. And then Van Allen Real Estate. If you're looking to sell your home, if you're looking to buy a home, even as far as commercial, residential, they are your go-to people, Tony. So we love what's happening with our sports bar challenge.
So when you bet your house on them being Super Bowl, I know where to go buy it. Where that being said, I'm glad to see all those people in it. We were supposed to have another break now, but we kind of went over, but we had some good stuff in it. And I tell you what, I hope that maybe next week we can come back and take a look at this and say, oh, but I just say you got to do one game at a time. Now, I'm going to be the first one to say they can beat KC, and they're going to beat KC. So you fans can get on the wagon with us because we're going to ride it. But at the same time, it ain't no sense jumping off of it because it's too early for that in the game. But you can't be mad about the play. So when we come back next week, we'll be talking good. But I got to go back to the man.
Oh, Tony, we're not finished yet. You're trying to.
I ain't gone yet. Just hold on. Just hold on. All right. I know we got another one left, but I got to go back to the man that took my job. You speak well, too. That's all I'm going to say. We'll be back in a moment.
The one-of-a-kind joy of Kellogg's cereal and ice-cold milk.
Well, Ricky Irvins and I are back with another fitness tip. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, back again with Tony and the crew. And today is going to be a beautiful day. Like I always like to say, today is a great day. And it depends on how you want to make that day, but it's a great day because you woke up this morning. But we're going to have some fun today, guys. Let's get started. All right, you guys, here we go. 30-15, 4 times. Planks up and down, and go. Down, down, push up. Yes. Bang, bang, up, down. Push up, push up. Bang, bang, up, down. Keep your hips forward now. Yeah. Bang. Now, you don't have to keep your hands on that mat. You can put a wire when you're doing your push-ups. This is like, again, you don't have to come out too far, but keep your hips forward. There you go. Back down. Yeah. Can you see her struggling? See her, look at the fight. There you go. I got to get that shaking. Here we go. Yeah. Keep hips forward. Come on, keep hips forward. Now, see how you're trying to bring that back? Keep these hips. Yeah. Just how you are right there. You got to come back like a board. All right. Now you're back to planks, up and down, push up.
My arms is hurting.
Yeah. But again, there you go. There you go. Keep that butt down. Hips forward, hips forward, hips forward. Yeah. You could be driving like this. I know. But this is what we do on a Saturday morning.
That hurt. Tony, he told me to bring you the next time.
That's
I tell you what, after seeing that today, you made sure I won't be there the next time. I'm already it takes me a long time to walk downstairs now. But with that being said, hey, thank you guys for a good show. We had
Tony, here go our picks.
I know, but I wonder. You keep telling me. You know what, Donna? We're gonna get in a fight on it. No, I guess we won't. You know, I don't want to do the picture.
We just saw Donna. We know what she can do. So
yeah, we just saw.
Wait, Charles, you may be right there. I may better wait a while. But after we get, you gonna have to go through these picks. Donna, how did we do this week? But I want to say one thing in case I don't get to say it. Thanks, Charles, for coming on. Thank
Absolutely.
You guys. And you know, thanks for being honest. And you know, that's the one thing about it, big fella. We need to be honest on this show all the time, and that's what we want to do. Donna, you can do the picks right now, and the reason I said that first is because we know you're pencil whooping us. We know you're pencil whooping us.
Hey, all I know is Solomon went 4-1 last week. I went 3-2. And Mike went 3-2, and you and Gary went 2-3. But as you can see, it's still close. Tony, me and Solomon I'm in the lead. Solomon is still breathing down my neck. But as you say, Tony, it's early because it's a lot of football yet to be played.
No question. There's a lot of games to be talking. We're gonna be gaming each and every week. But one thing we do in the game, and we never gonna say goodbye, we say in the morning.
The Patriots limited Mitchell to 52 yards. Next, the Denver Broncos were blown away by the strong winds of the Patriot rush, which downed their quarterbacks 9 times. This game mirrored Patriot depth at all positions, the winningest record in New England Patriot history.